All right, I guess I am live, right? All right, it's working. That's the good news. What's happening, YouTube? All right, I am early, right? So we're getting ready to host our travel talk. So stick around and hang out with us here for just a moment as we dive in. We're going to talk about solo travel here not only in Africa and beyond, but solo travel experience. And we got a good solution for you. So we're going to have that conversation in just a moment. Let me know where you're watching from. I always ask that every time that we start to engage our audience. We always want to know where our community watching from. I am streaming from the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and we're going to have a good conversation today. You can do me a favor and drop your questions down in the comments. I'll try to glance over here if you have any live. But if you're catching this on replay, first of all, let me know you're watching it on replay. Drop replay in the comments, and we'll be sure to follow up and follow through with you as the day progresses. Um, yeah, I'm really excited about this here episode. Looking forward to getting through it and inviting you out to some things that we got going on in and around the company. If you're new to Urban Intellectuals, drop me a one down in the comments and let us know that you are new here. Give me a two here in the comments if you are familiar with what we do, our work here as a Black History company, a Black History and Black Empowerment company. I'm starting to expand the conversation. All right, Ash, I guess we got a couple of minutes. Are we up to speed? You need anything extra from me? Am I missing anything?
You need to make me a co-host so that I can let the Zoom members in.
That's probably an important part. All right, bam, got that sorted. Let me practice my share and put on the options. Oh, I got the wrong screen. Hmm. All right, I was just checking the keep me on screen options. That is the thing. All right. We're not going to start there. All right. Yes, I think I got that good. All right. Looks weird over here, but okay. Okay, I did a little sharing. All right, what's happening to my Zoom user? I'm just getting warmed up. We're about to let our audience here over here on YouTube. Ashley, is there a email address or excuse me, a page where they can like sign up to get the notifications for travel talks or even just signing up for any of our travel list emails? Where would they find that? They go to sankofaexperiences.com.
Yes.
Okay. So if you just shoot over to sankofaexperiences.com, you can sign up and make sure that you're catching all the emails. You get the updates to be invited here. All right, you can go ahead and let the people in. We'll just go ahead and roll right into the show. There we go. All right, here we go. And here we go. Hey, good people, how y'all doing? Appreciate you joining us here today for Travel Talks, another edition. First one in about 2 weeks now, right? I missed one last week. I was traveling. Go figure. The host of Travel Talks went traveling, right? Appreciate y'all joining us as here inside of the Zoom, and thank you for joining us on YouTube as well. If you're not following us on YouTube, please do. Urban Intellectuals, uh, search Urban Intellectuals on YouTube or youtube.com at Urban Intellectuals. You'll find us over there building out a lot more of our content on that platform. We're tripling down on YouTube this year if we haven't told you. So I appreciate y'all being here. Hey, Jan. Hey, Rosalind. No, you are here live. I am live right now, so I can see your comments over there on YouTube. I appreciate it. Again, give me a one in the comments if you're new to Travel Talks. If you're not familiar with this entity, give me a one, give me a two if you are a veteran and you've been around before. And also let me know where you are watching from. I am in the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and I'm going to dive into our conversation today centered around solo travel. Anybody out there, solo travelers? Do you like traveling solo? Give me a yes or a no if you're give me a solo yes if you're a solo traveler. Give me a no if you've never done that before. And also you can drop any questions down in the comments that you might have that you want me to specifically address. I got yeses. Oh, I got my people. They're just like, I'm ready to be outside and I ain't waiting on nobody. I get that a lot from our solo travelers. Hey, Christopher, appreciate you joining us. Good morning, brother. No, I haven't done it yet. Okay, Michael, well, we got a good solution for you. For those solo travelers that, or for people who can't find individuals that might be interested in traveling in the African diaspora, right? You know, sometimes our people, our community are left in the dark on the benefits of these things, but we are bridging that gap. So I want to encourage you to join us with that. But let me dive into the presentation so I don't have y'all here all day. I want to start making them shorter, quicker, so we can get to our questions, get to our Q&A. You can get any questions or concerns that you might have answered. Give me okay. Great job. Keep teaching. I'll see you guys soon. All right, Chris, I appreciate that, good brother. Thank you. For the encouragement and the kind words, we definitely appreciate it. All right, so y'all should be able to see my screen. Come on, get it out, Freddie. If you could travel solo to any destination in the world, where would it be and why? There's a good question for you. If you could travel solo to any destination in the world, where would it be and why? I'm just always curious about our community and what we are interested in engaging and where do we want to go? What do we want to see? What experiences do we want to have? So I'll come back to that in just a moment to see if y'all are engaging with me down there on that question. With you guys to Africa, of course. Right. Yeah. All right, Christopher, I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely want to go to where in the continent, good brother, since you answered the question for me, where in the continent are you interested in going? And then do that. All right, 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, but where in the continent are you interested in going? Let's say first, right? I know we want to go a lot of different places, right? But where on the continent first might you be interested in going? I don't believe there's a bad choice, right? I think there is an abundance of experiences on the continent. Every country in the diaspora. I should have known that was coming, right? That would have been my response, right? I want to go everywhere. I don't want to just go one place. 54 countries in Africa, on the continent of Africa. Sometimes you got to say it to us, right? But I'm definitely interested in exploring them all. Christopher said he's interested in going to Egypt first. Yeah, hey, Michael, how you doing? Appreciate you joining us as well. Let's dive into this conversation, right? So I want to welcome you to Travel Talks. This is our official talk show where we concentrate on travel and having these conversations. Okay, Rosalind says, nowhere. I like to travel. I like to talk to my friends while traveling. Virginia Beach. All right, there's a good one there. But I want to invite y'all into the conversation. I want to invite you to Travel Talks and Urban Intellectuals. But let me open with our intro video. Welcome to Travel Talks, where we embark on a journey of discovery with Sankofa Experiences, powered by Urban Intellectuals. I'm your host, Freddie Taylor, the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals, here to guide you through our African diaspora's rich history and culture. Sankofa Experiences is more than just travel, it's a movement. We dive deep into our roots across Africa and the diaspora, turning every journey into a powerful connection with our ancestors. Our mission? To make the exploration of Black history accessible, inspiring, and informative. Join us as we share insights from our travels, celebrate our history, and foster a deeper understanding of our collective identity. With Sankofa Experiences, every destination is a step closer to home. Let's explore together. Welcome to Travel Talks. Welcome to Travel Talks, right? Every destination is a step closer to home. And Jarman says she wants to go to, or they want to go to every place Urban Intellectuals Black History classes talks about. Yes, all right. Well, we got a lot of traveling to do, definitely. As usual, I want to open with what's going on in the company real quick. If you could drop it down in the comments for me tonight. Ashley, there we go. Our story started before slavery. 3 reasons why our story must start before slavery. I'm doing a lecture or a talk tonight. You're definitely invited to come on out and have this conversation with us. This is a very important narrative that we have to break inside of our community. I believe it is tied to a lot of the inconsistencies in our confidence, our character, and our community. And we'll have those conversations tonight. So that is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's on Zoom as well. So it's a free online event. Come on and have a good conversation with me. I want to alert you, alert. I have a new talk show, a new podcast show, interview show called Sankofa Speaks. We're crafting conversations that awaken and empower. I am looking to bring experts and individuals in front, more experts and individuals in front of our community to talk about the things that matter, everything from genealogy to finance to economics, entrepreneurship, of course, history and culture and experience. We're going to definitely do all of that as well. Rosalind says, I'm solo traveling to Brazil in September with Sankofa Experiences. I'm a little nervous about it. Thank you for sharing that, Rosalind. And we're going to talk about it, right? Because this is how we cure solo travel fear with group travel experiences. But just putting you on alert for our Sankofa Experiences. Take a look at that when you get a chance. You'll see more information about that coming around. Hey, Christopher, glad you're going to enjoy it. Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so you want to travel, but you have no one who wants to go with you, right? Is that it? Is that any of our solo travelers? Are you, give me a me in the comments if you're having trouble finding friends and family that might be interested in traveling to places that you're interested in going, right? Now, I'm just gonna say it. Y'all are, if you know me, look, if you know me, let me get back on camera, right? If y'all know me, you know I'm gonna say it, right? If y'all was talking about going to Dubai, if you were talking about going to Italy, if you were talking about going somewhere up north, right? You probably would find interest from friends and family that would travel with you. But when you mention traveling to Africa or Brazil or these places throughout the African diaspora, sometimes we fall off as a community. Not all of us, right? Jan's talking about going to Sierra Leone. I got some pictures in here for you, Jan. You need to go. Yeah, you need to go yourself. I got my me's in the comments. People are experiencing that. We're going to talk about this because we got the solution to our solo travelers conundrums, right? All right, so I'm going to continue down this conversation. So we found a solution, right? We got a good solution for you, and it's group travel, right? So group travel experiences are a way for solo travelers or people who can't find individuals in their friends and family circle to connect with them on these experiences to get around it, right? Because it gives you an opportunity to go with a group of people. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why, and I'll leave questions, I'll leave space on the back end for Q&A so we can definitely get into that. But I want to dive into three quick reasons on why for group travel, right? So don't, I'm not telling you not to ever travel solo or by yourself, but like Rosalind said as well, she's going solo on this group travel trip, right? So she's going to show up not knowing anyone. And I can tell you, we got a long laundry list of individuals who have that same experience with us in our Sankofa experiences, but they didn't leave solo. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So, number one reason for me in group travel is safety, right? There's safety in numbers, particularly when you're in a foreign place in a land. Now, would you rather have a large group of your absolute best friends going on these trips to even feel more secure? Probably. But getting there as a solo traveler and then connecting with 20, 30, 40 other individuals who are about to have that same experience is really empowering. And I promise you, you're going to find connection and friendship on this as well. This is why I like to cheat and say you find reputable organizations that are bringing like-minded people together. So you're coming in solo, but you're meeting up and bonding with a group of people who have this experience, right? Fear. I love that, Christopher. False evidence appearing real, right? Time to wake up. If you have the money, of course, right? Definitely it's an investment. But group travel provides safety, right? There's strength in numbers. It reduces the risk of being targeted, right? Companions provide a sense of security. If you're solo and people are watching, I noticed that individuals watch people that are by themselves, right? So if you're in a group of other travelers, it's less likely that you will be isolated from the group and targeted. Expert guides right? So you're going to get expert guidance also. So access to the local knowledge and safe routes, avoid common pitfalls with organization and planning. And in many of our places, most of our places, right, we have security with us, right? So we need trying to ease the concerns that some of our travelers might have. And listen, when we go into these places, I want you to understand that travel is an important arm of the economics of these countries that we go into. So the government doesn't take any of this lightly, right? It's not a game. Your safety is of utmost importance because if you don't feel safe, you don't spend money. If you don't feel safe, you don't come back. If you don't feel safe, you don't tell other people that it is safe and they should travel there, right? So it is in the government's best interest to ensure that you not only are safe, but that you feel safe as well. And our organizations work with the local authorities and the people, letting them know where we are, where we're going, so that they can so we can help make the best decisions to put you in the best situations that you not only feel safe, but you see the history, the culture, and have the experiences that you're looking for. But again, yeah, right. Tourism is $1 billion business, right? It moves the needle in a lot of these countries. It is really, really important. So they definitely want you to be safe. So that I think that's something important for you to note. But then there's built-in system of support, right? Because there's help in emergencies or unexpected situations, shared accountability for personal belongings and safeties. And if you are the elders, I can tell you what happens in our groups. Uh, the deference to the elders is real, the love of the elders is real, and the people end up helping and assisting, whether that's carrying a bag, holding a hand, helping them up and down the stairs. So we genuinely build a community while we're there. I'm probably giving away the next one. I knew it. I'm giving away the next one, right? Because that's what happens on these experiences. You come in solo, you come in not knowing anyone, but you end up leaving with a bunch of friends in the process, right? Because these shared experiences create deep bonds, right? Traveling together builds deep connection through unforgivable adventures and mutual memories. And where's my girl Jan talking about Sierra Leone over here on YouTube? This is us there in Sierra Leone. That is the young lady in the middle, in the yellow, the black and yellow there is the mayor of Freetown, right? So we got an opportunity to meet her during this group travel experience. This was a beautiful experience, but it's the bonding and the conversations and you going into those dungeons, or if you're in Abu Simbel, or you're cruising down the Nile, or we're at Tabletop Mountain down in South Africa, right? You're having these wonderful experiences with people. You're talking, you're laughing, you're eating over dinner. It just forms a bond, right? You start to talk about your family, you're showing pictures, you really get connected during the short time that you're here. But the opportunities for meaningful interaction, I'm not reading it, and I'm really just kind of hitting the things, right? But group travel provides time to connect on a personal level, fostering friendships that last long after the trips. I can tell you, I'm in WhatsApp groups from our very first trip back in 2022, taking our first group to Egypt, going on the trips in 23, February 23, going into Ghana and Egypt. I'm still on those text threads. We're still talking from the Senegal trip that I was on. Like every time I'm in these experiences, you really form a bonds of a lifetime, right? And like on this trip, in this image, well, maybe I'll say it in the next one. I'll tell you on this one. So we got like some messy cousins, right? That's what we call ourselves. It's a couple of us in this group. But we are, checking in on each other's children's, checking in, where are you at in the world? What's going on? How are you keeping up to date with one another's lives? Like we genuinely formed a lifelong friendship, right? During this experience. Never mind why we call them the messy cousins, right? All right. So it's always that one group that always laughing and giggling and got a joke for any and every opportunity, right? So maybe you might not end up in the messy group, but it's definitely fun and engaging. But we're building relationships across cultures. Traveling with diverse people allows you for understanding and friendship and cultural or crossing cultural and geographic boundaries. It's just a beautiful experience. And doing it with other people kind of opens it up, right? Because they may have interests that you are unfamiliar with. They may have insight that you don't have in any particular area, whether that's about the foods or the places that we're traveling to. For instance, the brother in, oh, I don't got him in this picture. Oh, that was in Ghana. Man, all the trips start to run together. But there was an anesthesiologist on one of the trips, and we were in Ghana. I guess I'll come off this right quick. We were in Ghana and we were at the Aubrey Gardens, right? So you go to like these like botanical gardens, beautiful, beautiful experience, um, beautiful trip, and you get in the history of this area. And there's a lot of deep history over there and like how this area formed. I won't ruin it for you, but I'll just say we ran up on this plant, and the guide is telling us about this plant, and he said something, right? I'm not an anesthesiologist. Maybe I should contact the brother and get the details. That would make the story more powerful. But he said something that triggered the anesthesiologist and to start asking questions. And it turns out the stuff that they're using from the anesthesia that they're turning into the medicine that numbs you, that makes you go under, comes from this plant. Right. But he never knew that. He never knew that it was a natural thing because the guy was telling us, hey, don't touch it because, it's going to have the similar effects of anesthesia, right? Of putting you under if you touch this thing. So he was floored, right? But it's like, I would have never had that understanding if I wasn't there with this particular anesthesiologist, right? I got to learn the lesson. So next time I'm there, I can act like I knew that from the start. But it's those types of little extras in these experiences that are really great that comes out during group travel and being around other people and communing and talking. And I'm going to talk to the introverts. It's okay to talk to people, right? It's okay. You might actually meet another introvert that y'all vibe with on a good level, but it's definitely a good experience. So I definitely want to encourage you to come out and try it, right? But yeah, group travel again helps building community. This brother on the right, again, I'm in Sierra Leone just hanging out in the lobby with our group, and he was not in our group. He walked up on me and he was like, "You're Freddie Taylor, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he was a member in the Urban Intellectuals community, right? He has the flashcards and all of that. So, of course, we had to take a picture and do a conversation. But you're meeting fantastic people that are on these different adventures and learning and growing. We had a tie-dye experience there in Sierra Leone together, which is where tie-dye originated in Sierra Leone. Good experience overall. But there's more good experience overall as I roll into experiences, right? But take a listen to this young lady and her thoughts on cruising down the Nile.
We're actually on the Nile right now, cruising towards Aswan. Uh, did you kind of see that coming? Like, what do you think about the cruise in the middle of
This is
the travel
awesome.
experience?
I will say this is by far my favorite because I actually talk about royalty. I literally was like in my room. I can't get away from the window, and I'm like, I feel like this is what the pharaohs and the queens must feel like when they were cruising down the Nile back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, this is so cool. Like I feel like it's just cool. I don't even know like words to describe like just how cool this is. It's just like I'm cruising down the Nile, like I'm on the Nile River.
Like, literally,
Like,
I'm on the
cruising.
text thread with my friends, like, dude, we
Yes.
cruising down the Nile.
Yeah, so getting to have these experiences is really what we're going from. This sister didn't come solo; she came with her two children that you saw sitting next to her. But just having these experiences, feeling safe and feeling like you're with a professional organization that's going to take good care of you, really makes the difference. Let's check this out. I got another quick video for it.
But the sun is starting to rise, as you can see it off in the distance. This is why we got up so early, because we wanted to see the beautiful sights. Right, we're here with the people on our inaugural trip to Egypt, our Black History Travel movement, where we're having Black History Travel experiences. This is Freddie Taylor, CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. We make it fun and easy to learn Black history. But we're making it even easier to have Black history experiences. We are bringing Africa to life for you, right? We're not just talking about the history or studying the history. We're coming to see it firsthand. Started here in Egypt, right? We started off in Cairo. Now we're in Luxor. We have a 3-day cruise down the Nile that we're experiencing, but now we are experiencing a sunrise from the hot air balloon ride.
Valley of the Queens is this way.
Yeah.
So that experience So this is what I was getting at. Group travel allows us to curate bigger and better experiences, right? Because we can get the cost down. You can do a lot of things along with the group that you can't necessarily do with solo, right? As a solo traveler, you can pay for it. You can have all of these experiences, but obviously the prices begin to change. But that right there was amazing, right? So that's a hot air balloon ride over the Valley of the Kings. So we get up bright and early. I remember I was talking about the sun rising there in front of us, but we get up early because we go have that experience of seeing the Valley of the Kings from the sky. So we had conversation about what we were looking at. And then when we landed, the next step was to go into the Valley of the Kings, right? So we got the aerial view and we got to see it from the sky. We got to experience a sunrise over Luxor, which was an amazing experience in itself. But then we got to go into the Valley of the Kings, right? And go into the tombs. King Tut was laying down there when we had an opportunity. So we go into a multiple number of the tombs. We get to go see Pharaoh Hatshepsut, which is the only woman that is buried in the Valley of the Kings. It is like a beautiful sight. Right, I'm already there. Thank you for sharing that. Looking forward to the experience. Appreciate that. It's just a beautiful thing. But group travel has a way to have some hidden benefits, right? For you that you might not have considered before. And you can have experiences like this, right? How about who wants to walk with the lions? Anybody want to have this experience, or is this just far too much for you, right? I understand if it might be a bit much. I gotta be honest, I can't believe I did it. If I'm being honest, I was being tough. I was being tough for the cameras, boy. Them cameras went up. I was ready to get on the other side of the gate. But no, it was a great experience. But it's things like this that getting outside of your comfort zone, getting on a plane and traveling solo to get there, maybe it's something that it makes it worth it, right? Because you genuinely have these memories, these pictures, these videos for a lifetime. And it's just a beautiful thing, right? It really opens you up. That's all in. Yeah. I was committed. And let me tell you, them things are big, right? They are big. That male lion roared. I think every bit of blood left my body. It came back, but my goodness, it was something to experience, right? I'll never, ever forget that in my life. Will I do it again? I don't know. I got to be feeling pretty good. But no, it was definitely safe. There's a trick to everything that you saw there, by the way. Not a trick like an illusion. The animals are not sedated. I won't give it all away from you, but we're safe and we're in a good space, right? It's close, woo! But we did it. And my team, I couldn't let my team down. They was making sure, hey, we got to get you in front of those lions, right? Absolutely. Kings walk with the lions, and we walk amongst the worst animals every day in the U.S. All right, Christopher. But yeah, but there is no better group to travel with than Urban Intellectuals, right? Our Sankofa experiences, our Black History Travel Made Easy. We definitely want to invite you to travel with us, right? We have a wide variety of travel experiences set up, and we are experienced in doing this. We will handle the logistics once you arrive. All you have to do is show up and get ready to show out and have the experience to expand your history, your culture, your understanding, your awareness, to sample the foods that you might have seen and dreamed about, to see the places in the history that we talk about in our Black history classes, that we talk about in our Black history products, and to do it with wonderful people. But we'll make sure that you're ready before the trip start. You'll be in contact with either myself or Sister Ashley, who is on the call, who is our travel coordinator and takes care of everything. But this is the benefit of group travel, right? This is the real benefit, because you don't have to worry about the itinerary, the agenda, getting where you need to be, being there on time. All of this stuff is handled and curated for you ahead of time. We have, I don't know the total number off the top of my head. Oh, I missed that. But we've done this for years, right? We've taken hundreds of people on these experiences. You'll be another 362 people and counting. We're actually in Senegal and the Gambia right now. They just started the trip on the 24th. They get back on the 2nd of February. So that number is going to increase. So we have the experience. We have the know-how, we have the connections on the ground with the local people. We got the guides, we got the education, we have the hospitality, we have the places that you will stay, we got the food, we got the accommodations. We're setting you up for safety, and we're bringing like-minded people to the group so that you'll be operating with numbers to have a trip and an experience of a lifetime. The only thing is you haven't traveled with us just yet, so we want to make sure to give you that opportunity. But we make sure that you're ready from the trip, from the start of the trip to the end of the trip. And guess what? It only takes $199 down to lock in your spot. It's a priceless opportunity. I can tell you, just like the world price, just like these egg prices ain't going down, nothing is really going down, right? So the real question is, how serious are you about having this opportunity and going? And when do you want to go? You can always go to SankofaExperiences.com and you can check out our list. You can get more of the details. You can shoot Sister Ashley a message to get any type of questions answered. But here's our travel calendar for 2025. We have 2026, but we don't have it up yet. We have some dates in 2026. But if you're interested in traveling in 2025, you can head over to the site and jump in and get started with us right now. What places are you interested in traveling? You can see from the list here, we're going to Senegal, Egypt, Ghana, South Africa, Ethiopia, Morocco, Tanzania, and Zanzibar, Brazil, Nigeria, and the Ivory Coast, and South Africa this year in 2025. So we're expanding the conversation and we're expanding the opportunities, but we are all of them. Christopher needs some time off and to cash out, right? To come and have these experiences, but it's some beautiful trips, right? I'll be on a couple of these. I'm headed to Ethiopia in March, so that March 12th to the 20th trip, I'll be there. I am interested. I am super excited about that. That's our first trip to Ethiopia. That's going to be a beautiful experience. The first trip to Morocco is happening in March as well. I've been to Morocco before. Vaccine dilemma. What do you mean, Michael? What do you mean by that? Let me, I can definitely answer that question for you. I think I know where you're going with this, but allow me to let you speak and say it. I'll be on the Nigeria trip and the Brazil trip, right? Oh, wow. I didn't realize they were back to back like that. Okay, good. Brazil and Nigeria. And then I think I want to do Dedi December, right? Ghana in December for New Year's. So that December 27th through January the 4th. I'm definitely interested in that one. Dedi December is what they call Nigeria. Oh, it's Nigeria. They call Ghana in December. But they say the continent is unbelievable anywhere on the continent during the New Year. I don't take them, but I know it's required. Good question. Okay. So what Michael is saying is he's not into vaccines. He's not taking them. He's not interested. I respect your decisions, brother, but I can tell you they're not required everywhere in Africa, right? So you actually for the places that we travel, you only need to be vaccinated for Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. Those are actually the only places that you're required to be vaccinated. It's like, there's a lot of myths and misinformation floating around about the vaccinations. And the only vaccination that's required is yellow fever. That's the only one. And it's rumored that it's only going to be a one shot for the rest of your life. Right now, it's a 10-year period. So I took the yellow fever in 2017. So I wouldn't have to take it again until 2027, but they're saying they're getting rid of that. I don't know just yet, but if you go to Egypt, you go to Morocco, you go into Ethiopia with us, you're going to Senegal and the Gambia. If you're going to South Africa, none of that is required travel. So I'm not sure if you were aware of that, good brother, but there's an opportunity for you as well. I know some people who have an immune deficiency and they're like, I'm not taking none of that. So what are the countries I can go to that don't require any vaccinations? Yellow fever is the only one that's mandatory, right? Mandatory with an asterisk. to be honest with you, because my father, when I took him, he was 87 years old the first time we went into Africa, and we went into Ghana, and he didn't take the vaccination, and we went in anyway. But he had a medical reason because his doctor said, I think at your age, the vaccine has more potential for harm than good. So if you're comfortable, go. So that there you can get a medical exemption. I don't know about a religious exemption or anything like that. I can tell you this: you don't want yellow fever, right? You don't want yellow fever. But really, from my experience, the mosquito issue wasn't as prominent as they made it seem, right? That's not advice. That's just my experience. So you just want you to keep that in mind. As long as you only have to do it one time. Yeah, I believe, like I say, it's a 10-year period right now, but I think they're going to get rid of it as long as you just take it once. But again, it's only for those countries, right, that have those issues right now. And yeah, so that's the truth, brother. You definitely double down on that. Yeah, Egypt does not have the yellow fever. There's really no requirements for Egypt, Senegal, South Africa, Morocco, and Ethiopia, right? Yeah. So then some of those other places, like how do I put this? It's like you got to be sensitive in this world, right? Catch me offline and I can just talk to you. But the American system scares you away from Africa. And all the information that they're given, I'm not saying that it's wrong, it's just sensationalized in the news, right? So the problems are made to seem to be bigger than they are, more catastrophic than they are. And I just think I think the reasoning is to keep us away from one another. I think the reason is to keep us detached because nobody has ever wanted us to unite. You can tell that by the history and the information. The last time we were in Ghana, we were at Slave River, right? So-called Slave River. And the guide was talking to the people and was saying the reason that the history and the culture of African people is suppressed in the Americas is because if you learn the history, you learn the culture, and you start to reconnect, you start to enjoy yourself, you start to become interested in the land and the resources. You start to become interested in the opportunities and what's happening and what other people are doing. You start to notice other individuals from other places that are over there doing things and enjoying the benefits of the assets, let's say. So by keeping you ignorant of the history and the culture, it'll keep you away from the continent, from traveling. Why would you be interested in the land, the resources, and the assets? Why would you be interested in linking up with other Africans on the continent, perhaps doing business and trade across the water and working together or making investments in the growth of the continent? So it could be a deterrent. I'm not saying that that's the fact. I'm just saying things are interesting, right? I know the more I learn the history and the culture, the more interested I become in not only investing, but moving to the continent, buying property on the continent, and spending more time, dollars, and investment on the continent as well, right? It's an absolute game changer, right? This is why I'm telling you, if y'all around at Urban Intellectual, I genuinely believe history and culture is the answer to our community. I think it's the answer that we've just been ignorantly avoiding, and listening to people that tell us that history don't matter. And as Amos Wilson said, if history didn't matter, then why did the European change history? Why did he spend so much time, talent, and effort and money and centuries rewriting the narrative if it didn't have nothing to do with power and dominance, with money and opportunity? Nobody would have spent their time rewriting this stuff, right? So it has to be something to it. So just that fact alone should make us say, I need to know more about this history and culture, because I think I'm on my soapbox now. But I think that once we have this understanding, one, we respect ourselves more because we respect the ancestors and what they've been through. And if we respect ourselves, that means we're going to start respecting one another in the community. This strengthens our families. This strengthens our children. This strengthens our community. This strengthens the diaspora. And if we got this type of love and feeling and honor and love of the ancestors and the contributions and the things that they've been through and the hell that the ones that survived the slave genocide, we got all of this feelings worked up. Oh my God, this means we're going to start working together. we're going to start helping one another. We're going to start mentoring one another. We're going to start educating one another. We're going to start lifting one another up. We're going to start reaching off across the diaspora around the world and working together with one another, right? This sounds like a nightmare for somebody. Sounds like a dream for us, right? So I think that this is, I genuinely believe this is why we spend so much money, time, energy, and effort pushing history and culture and connection, because it's what we've been missing. This is the thing that we don't commune around. We don't get around. Listen, you know, you got to watch your mouth, Freddie. But we got our faith. It ain't another more faithful people on this planet than Black and African people. It's not. It's just, I don't care. I'm not debating that. And I'm not telling you that that's not important. But we got that. Let's put the other pieces in place on top of that. I'm not saying remove it. I'm saying include it. We got spaces to commune around our spirituality, our faith, our religion, our all of that is wonderful. Where are our spaces that generally pour into our history and our culture to make this final piece? This is like the final infinity stone, right? That needs to be put into the community. So this is why we do this. But making this connection of going to the continent, going to the African diaspora, it's just going to accelerate that 10,000%, right? And then once you start loving the food and you know the music and the culture, it's just like you start to endear yourself to the people. It's something special and beautiful, because you can't tell me that Senegalese food ain't the best food on the continent, because my goodness, anytime I see it, I gotta have it, boy. I'm like addicted now. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, health, wealth, and self. Oh, I like that. Health, wealth, and self. I love that. Yeah, Media Machine. Yeah, they're doing this intentionally, right? So this is why I appreciate y'all coming into spaces like this with me and engaging these conversations. But all right, I'm going to keep it pushing, because I was trying not to keep y'all too long, but I think I say that every other week, right? So anyway, if you go to sankofaexperiences.com, check out our list. You got all of the questions there. You can click contact, reach out to us if you have any questions. Anybody ready to join us on the continent, please let us know. Drop a link, drop a me down in the comments. But sankofaexperiences.com will take you there so you can start to sign up for the stuff. Any questions? I'll stick around for a few minutes to try to answer any of the questions that you might have. But don't let being solo impact and stop you from traveling the world and traveling the continent. Just get with reputable groups so that you can join us. Somebody that is serious, that is I'm in the Philly. I love it. Appreciate you, good brother. But get with somebody. If you're not gonna travel with us, right, get with somebody that has your best interests at heart, that actually has a genuine love for the people and a track record of delivering great experiences, and history field experiences, right? Because that's what I believe, Black history travel experiences. Do you do room sharing? Yeah, you can share rooms, definitely, Michael. So what we encourage is go ahead and sign up, get your room as a single, and then you can add somebody to the room later. Like you can jump into our Facebook group, jump into our UI universe. Oh, I didn't mention that. We got our own social network, y'all. If you go to, let me drop it down in the comments real quick. But yeah, Michael, if you reach out to the community and say, hey, I'm going on these dates, I'm looking for someone to room with. I don't want to be like, Freddie put me with this roommate and then this thing happened, right? So that's what I'm concerned about or worried about. But if I create a space where y'all go have a conversation, you decide to, join each other, I feel like I'm out of that and I ain't got nothing to do with that. Actually does roommate pairing. So I'm learning their system. So perhaps in the future, but right now, not just yet, right? But you can always add somebody to your room, right? And then get the reduced rate, right? What's the Facebook? So on Facebook, just search Urban Intellectuals, and you should see a group. I forget exactly. It's called Urban Intellectuals, Black History Made Easy. You'll see that. And that's our group. There's another one for Sankofa Experiences. You can post that, but we're not active in that group anymore. We're trying to push everybody into the other group. There's like 49,000 people in the other group. We're focused on that. But that link that I just dropped down in there is our own social network. Let me drop it on Facebook, on YouTube if y'all watching. And I'll add it to the description later. Definitely come on over and commune with us in our own social network. We only got like 140 people over there. We're just starting out, just kind of kicking the tires, trying to make sure that the right people are in there. I'm not ready for the spam and all of the nonsense that comes, but we're inviting customers and people who rock with us on our shows over to the group right now. So we just kind of starting picking up the momentum. I would definitely appreciate y'all engaging and growing with us. But okay, any other questions about travel? We handled the vaccine question. That's always a really important one. Money on the trips. If you're a shopper, bring your wallet, right? You can use credit cards. I would say American Express isn't as widely accepted in Africa as they claim. You can use them at the hotels and like some of the major places. But in other spots, it's usually going to be Visa and some of the restaurants that we go to. Now, I would not listen what they say. Listen to me good now. I would not use my debit or credit card while we out in the market anywhere, right? We'll have these conversations leading up to the trip. You don't got to like remember this, but if you go without us or you go with another group, try to remember, get the cash, right? Use your cash. We just don't want your card floating around. The second thing I would not do is bring my debit card, right? I don't know if y'all know or realize if there's a fraudulent charge on your debit card, it's going to take you months at best to get that money back. If you use a credit card, they'll just reverse the charge, right? I don't know why. I ain't going to get in the middle of it, but this is just the reality of the facts, right? So we urge people to get a credit card and bring it for that specific purpose. We usually recommend $300 to $500 in spending money, but if you're a shopper, you know you're going to run through that, right? You're going to have an opportunity everywhere we go. There's always going to be time to shop. We'll help you with the exchange rates. We'll help you with getting your currency, whether we're doing it at the airport or usually at the hotel. There'll be a spot inside of there. You can use the ATM machines in the hotels, right? You hear me. What they hear me good now, right? You don't want to just be on the streets. We can't say we've used or have any experience with that, right? So I want you to be safe. I want you to have safety and peace of mind, right? I need you to be peaceful in your mind space so that you can enjoy the experience, to see what we're seeing. You can smell, you can smell the smells better. You can taste the food better because you're relaxed and you're not stressed out. That's how I need you operating. So we do educational pieces leading up to the trip. When you sign up, you'll be in different Zooms. We'll send you different types of information and we'll be conveying things to you and getting all your questions answered, right? So you can come on the trip by yourself, solo, if you will, but you will leave with friends, you'll leave with a beautiful experience, and you'll leave with an opportunity to continue to build and grow with us, right? So yeah, that's my spiel on solo travel today. Question, does the ATM in the hotel give you Cash App debit card? It can give you cash, right? I'm not sure about the Cash App. I'm not understanding that quite, but like when you put your money in, it's going to come out in the local currency, right? So if I'm in Ghana and I use the credit card, the ATM machine, the currency that's going to come out, and you're going to see the conversion between your US dollar or your Canadian dollar or whatever country you're coming from, and the currency there. We have made stops at banks, right? But we're not gonna let you exchange your money on the. You can now. Listen, if you've never been to Africa, everything is a hustle, right? Somebody is willing to do anything that's there, right? It's just a different environment, and you'll see what I'm talking about when you get there. But they're the most friendliest people. I'm not saying be naive, right? What they say, don't tempt the devil. Now, don't just walk around with your money in your hand. It ain't that friendly, right? Like, we don't want to tempt the devil, But people are they are hustling, right? There are no safety nuts. They are out there working. What they say, what you kill is what you eat. So that's why you will see the hustle is turned up a bit more aggressive than you've seen before. Um, but then another good reason, yeah, was okay, exchanging money. So you'll see spots on the corner. I can go exchange my money. We'll identify the places that we're going to exchange the money, right? So you're in good hands. That's what I'm getting at. You're in good hands with experienced tour guides that have done this before, that have relationships with the places and the people that we see. And if somebody's trying to take advantage of you, um, ooh, this is good. This is good. This is good. If you're ever concerned, like you got a spidey sense going off, like you're negotiating and bartering to buy something, and it just don't feel right, you can go grab one of our tour hosts and guides and ask them to come and negotiate with you, right? Sometimes they start talking Twi or they start talking the other language or whatever the case may be, but the tour guides are going to be on your side because our team understands what the governments that we travel understand. You need to feel safe. You need to not feel taken advantage of. You need to feel like I got a good deal and experience. So not only that you tell friends and family and encourage them to come, but you come back yourself as well. So we got a big team brewing and building. So there's all that. Yeah, New York. Hey, New York hustle ain't got nothing on what you're gonna experience on the continent. And Egypt, brother, you were talking about going to Egypt. If you go to Egypt, I feel like Egypt is a good place to start because after you do Egypt, you're just ready for the rest. After you do Egypt, New York seemed calm and peaceful, right? After you do Egypt, you go to the west coast of Africa, you be like, they not even trying, right? Right? You'd be like, they are just laid back. Whereas you go the other way, you're gonna be like, oh my God, right? But it's an experience. All of it is an experience to have. It's a beautiful one too. Okay. Do you have any context for the flying dress experience? Kalanda, oh, I'm trying to think. Do we do flying dress? We're going to Morocco. I got to check the thoughts on that. There may be a flying dress in Morocco. I haven't gotten into those details just yet. So hold me on that. Ashley, if you can make a note, let's come back and see if that's a thing. And then maybe in South Africa, there could be an experience there as well. But I know in the West Coast, there's not, right? We got a lot going on over there. It's not in the East Coast either. So I'm concerned. I'm thinking maybe South Africa or Morocco, but I haven't. Don't hold me to that. We can dig into the itinerary a little further. All right. Any other questions from? Do I got any other here in YouTube? I am vegan. Good question. Good question. Good question. How do restaurants, etc., accommodate? You are good. Yeah, our vegan people are good. We definitely gonna ask you. Do you have any allergies, or do you have any food preferences? There we go. Right? Are you pescatarian? Whatever the case may be. If you're pescatarian, you're gonna eat very well on the continent. But our vegan community eats very well as well. And I think you're gonna find that the food is fresher. It tastes different over there. That is like one of the most mind-boggling things because like we eat a mango. I'm always bragging about the mangoes because you eat a mango, it's like you never had a mango before in your life. Like it's not just the mango. You're gonna eat a lot of foods and you're gonna feel like, what are we eating at home? Like what is this? Like what are we eating here that it tastes so dramatically different from the meats to the fish to the fruits to the vegetables, everything. But yes, to answer your question directly, Jan, vegans, we have multiple vegans on our trips, and they eat very well. And yeah, especially all of the hotels that we stay at, we're always cognizant of that, right? The vegan community is growing. It's a big thing, and there are a lot of vegans on the continent, right? So you should be fine. Can you bring food back with you? Can you bring food back from there? I believe you can, but you have to declare it, right? So, when you're going through customs and they're asking, do you have any of this stuff? I believe you have to declare it. I don't know if there's like a specific number of how many seeds or whatever. Well, you know, they always in your pocket, brother. He's asking, can you bring fruit seeds? And is they gonna tax you? Yeah, they gonna be in your pocket. But that's really good. I didn't think about that. Thank you for sharing that. Because I was just thinking, like, what do they think? Everybody's a farmer, like this and that. But duh, Freddie, I just talked about the food clearly being different. These must be heirloom seeds that they're using over there, and that's why everything tastes differently. So why wouldn't I get the seeds and want to bring them back? All right. Bang, I'm about to go to Ethiopia. We bringing back some seeds, right? So maybe yeah, organic, right? Yeah, because we were just talking. Oh, sour sop. Oh, colander. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, it's just definitely good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, but thank you for that, Christopher. Okay. Dress code and customer review. So dress code. We always say be respectful of the culture. There's going to be again, you'll have a meeting about all of this, depending on which trip that you're going to. Some Arab nations, right, or excuse me, some Muslim nations are a bit more strict, and it's not that they're trying to restrict you at all, right? We just say be sensitive of their culture. The women don't have to cover up. You don't have to do the hijab and covered from ankle foot to head, right? Top of the head to the soles of your feet, or any of that. We just say be respectful of their culture and their community, right? But be comfortable, right? It's hot. It's gonna be hot. So be comfortable. And there are some events where we have, hey, everybody wear white. Hey, we're going out to a really nice restaurant. Let's wear African garb, right? So, like for instance, you're cruising down the Nile, you're gonna have a galabeya, right? So you have an opportunity to buy the outfits and all of that so that we can wear it. So all of this will be signaled and you'll be alerted leading up to it. Yeah, the way of life. Yeah, yeah. You'll often hear us say, leave America in America, right? Just leave America in America and pack your patience, right? Africa, you think CP time is one thing, but let me tell you, Africa time is something different, right? So once you get there, you get used to the pace. It's usually a little bit slower when we're in the restaurants. That's why we try to set things up early. We'll be getting your orders ahead of time. For the internet, it depends on who you have, because that's always a good thought, because people want to stay connected. You're definitely going to want to download the WhatsApp app so that you can communicate not only with people on the trip, you can communicate with people at home without worrying about your minutes and all of that. There's usually Wi-Fi at all of the spaces that we go to, but while we're on the road or while we're out in the market, you might not have it. Depending on who your carrier is, depends on if you will really, really have access while you're out there, right? I have T-Mobile. I have T-Mobile's international plan. I can't think of a country yet that I haven't had service and it's included in my bill. I'm not saying it's the best service. It ain't the fastest. It ain't 5G, right? But when we out in the middle of something and I can still get my post up, or I can post a video, or I can connect an email or text or whatever the case may be, I appreciate it. I guess Verizon is supposed to be pretty good. I think something else that we should add to it is you can buy SIM cards. You can buy a SIM card to local access for the local networks, right? So I haven't done that yet. I considered it last time, but my T-Mobile was working so well, I just left it alone, right? So, yeah, you have T-Mobile. Just see if you got the international plan. And even if you don't, you can add it for that 1 month, right? And it'll be worth the extra payments, because you ain't about these roaming fee, this roaming fee life, right? That roaming fee is something nasty. Dad and I was in Cuba in October of last year, 2024, right before he turned 95, right? So he's 94 in Cuba. And now I told him, we on the plane, I hit the airplane mode, and I said, just leave it on airplane mode. And when we get around Wi-Fi, you're going to be okay. Because T-Mobile not working in Cuba either, by the way. Hey, man, he turned off his airplane mode at some point because he was trying to do something and it wasn't quite working. And he got hit with them roaming fees. Man, it was like a couple of $100. And he was like, man, I only had it up it's crazy. Like you don't want that smoke, right? Can you use a sap phone? That's a good question, Michael. I'm not sure. Um, Ashley, can you write that down and maybe we can do a video or send something out about that? That's a good question. What about flip phones with minutes? I mean, I would imagine that you gotta have access to the tower. So the question is, does those minutes allow you access to that tower, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure about that. Y'all got good questions here today. How does the mobile Wi-Fi gadgets work over there? You know, that's something that we got to talk about. That's a great question. Man, y'all got like a bunch of great questions. Because while we were in Cuba, the guide that we had, he actually had the mobile Wi-Fi, and he let us, all get on the mobile Wi-Fi, and it worked pretty well, right? It wasn't the best, but it was way better than I anticipated. But it was really great, like when we were away from the hotel, to be able to get on the internet and finish up some emails or something. There's always something in the company that I need to be doing, so that was great. But it might be interesting if our guys all had the mobile joints. Just some of our trips be so large, I just wonder about that, right? So that's something good to think about, though. Are there any restrictions with taking photos or bringing certain equipment? Um, there was there no. I'm gonna leave with there are some, but mainly no. We were in Ghana November, and they wouldn't let us take pictures inside certain places inside the Kwame Nkrumah's museum and mausoleum. It was just like these rooms, like no pictures, no videos in here. But then everything else was free game. But that's like the only restriction I can think about in Ghana. I haven't tried to travel with my drone. I know some places restrict drone usage. I feel like Egypt restricts drone usage. And I don't think Ghana does, because like we had a videographer there with us and he had a drone, but maybe he's Ghanaian and he can use drones. I don't know. You already know there are a different set of laws for citizens than there are visitors. Are there any restrictions with taking? Oh, okay. Photos. Okay, I answered that. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm unsure if there's we would just have to research it, right? Depending on where you go, right? Again, Africa is a big continent, but most of the places I haven't seen the restrictions. That doesn't mean that I didn't miss it, right? So I would definitely like let's zero in and look on that. And what equipment are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the drone? Like the only restriction that I remember seeing is the drone. And if there's a place that they don't want you taking pictures or videos or anything like that, you'll be alerted right when we're walking in, right? Like, hey, put your cameras away. Oh, the GoPro, yeah, no, you'll be good with that. Yeah, that's just a camera. Yeah, yeah. So you can ride and have the experience. We're in the hot air balloon rides. You got all that good. Yeah, no. Water, okay, water, yeah. We'll definitely let you know when it's safe to drink the water, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be using bottled water. And if we're in a situation where even the hotel water, where you're not brushing your teeth with it, we'll let you know. And then water is always provided. I don't use the ice. Like the hotels, the water will be filtered, so you can drink the water and you can use the ice. But when I'm on the continent, I just eliminate ice, because if you use the ice at the hotels, when we go out to the restaurant where the water might not be filtered, and now you're like, oh, I like ice water, give me some ice, and that ice melt, you might have a little episode, right? So I just say no ice, and that I just roll from there. No ice and bottled water, and I usually stick with that. But most places, yeah, the bubble guts, yeah. Most places, you're going to be you're going to be fine with brushing your teeth with the bathroom water. Like you'll be fine with that, even though like you're not drinking the water. But then where were we at? I gotta remember all of these things. Some places, I've only been to one place. I can't remember exactly where we were, but we did not use the sink water to brush our teeth. We used bottled water. I got to remember where we were at with that. But again, leading up to the trip, we'll include cultural trainings. So we'll be having all of these discussions in way more in depth along with the specific information that's out there right now, right? I'm trying to remember 15 trips and which place I was at. But yeah, we don't want, yeah, you can get cholera, you can get a cholera vaccine. Okay, you can get them if you're into vaccines, you can knock that down. I try to take less. You know, if I ain't got to take it, I'd just rather avoid drinking the water. But the bottled water is fine. It'll be in abundance. It's super hot. I always say it's two temperatures in Africa. It's hot or hot. In Egypt, it got cool during the night in February. At night, it was cool, but it'd be, be 85, 88 degrees during the rest of the day. But that cool is relative, right? Like it'd be like 50, 60 degrees. It just feels different when you're over there. So there's always that. The rooms come with tubs or walk-in showers. There's been a mix. Again, it just depends on where you're at. But in Egypt, we'll be in the Sheraton, like, right? There'll be tubs in there. You'll have that. You might have a separate tub and a standalone. You can always upgrade your room anytime that you want. There were tubs in West Africa. Yeah, so you will have that option as well. They usually take malaria. Yeah, no, I haven't done it. I've never taken the malaria pills. I know people that do. But again, that's a West African thing, and that is specifically Ghana and Nigeria. Ghana, Nigeria, and the Ivory Coast is like the concerns of yellow fever and malaria. But the malaria stuff is not mandatory. The malaria stuff is recommended by the CDC. And but the yellow fever is mandatory for Nigeria and Ghana. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Does it come with okay? Yeah. So you see the walk-in showers and all of that. Cholera, I got that. I got any questions over here on YouTube? All right, what's up, YouTube? All right, this is like our biggest audience over there, right? So I appreciate y'all joining us. We do this every Tuesday, by the way, at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the start. We usually run about an hour, so we're coming up on that about now. But again, if you have any additional questions, I'll stick around. But you can always send an email to support@sankofaexperiences.com, support@sankofaexperiences.com. Can't remember that, you can always email us at support@urbanintellectuals.com. It's going to go to the same place. It's going to end up with Sister Ashley, travel coordinator. She's going to follow up and follow through with you. But yeah, we're looking forward to engaging you on one of these experiences. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. $199 down, lock in your spot. Hopefully you come and travel the continent and have these experiences with us this year. Hey, all right. I appreciate y'all joining me. I'm going to go ahead and run out of here and run into my next meeting. But I definitely enjoyed speaking with y'all today and answering your questions. This is great. Thank you, everybody. Let me hit you with my outro. Greetings. I'm Freddie Taylor, CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals, and we are behind the Sankofa Experiences. This is where Black history travel made easy is not just our mantra, it's a promise. Our mission? To reconnect you with your roots, your culture, and the history of the African diaspora. Now spanning across 10 African nations and the vibrant cultures of Colombia and Brazil, the Sankofa Experiences is expanding. We've crafted curated group travel experiences that do more than just visit. They immerse, they educate, they transform. From the historic forts of Ghana to the bustling markets of Nigeria, the serene beaches of the Gambia to the rugged mountains of Morocco, and beyond even South Africa and South America, each destination holds a special place and part of our story. Embarking on these Sankofa journeys means more than just exploring more landscapes. It means walking in the footsteps of the ancestors, embracing the diversity of our heritage and seeing the world through a lens of understanding and appreciation. It's a group experience where every traveler is a thread in the fabric of the shared narrative, making the journey safe, engaging, and unforgettable. So are you ready to embark on this adventure? To explore, to learn, to celebrate the legacy that connects us all. Join us in the Sankofa Experiences, proudly powered by Urban Intellectuals. The only thing missing is you. The only thing missing is you. Can't wait to see you on the continent. Thank you again, good people. Until next time, love, peace, and power to the people. Yeah, see you tonight, Karen. All right. Blessings to you all.